Hey, welcome to the Hunter controller programming video. Now let's touch on the other side of the dial, which is kind of the global settings for the entire controller. The first position is system off. So system off turns the controller off during a rain event, or if you know it's going to be cool and rainy for the next few days or a week, you can just go to system off. Once you're ready to start automatic irrigation again, put the dial back to the run position. The next setting here on the dial is manual single station. And that would be if you want to turn on an individual station to check the heads or check the coverage. You don't have to be in a specific program. You can change it over to program A, B, or C. Won't matter in this manual mode. What will matter is the flashing runtime. You can use the right arrow to select what station number it is, or the left arrow to go backwards. Once you have the chosen station number in place, make sure he has a runtime. Simply use the plus button to give it, say, 4 or 5 minutes. In this case, we'll put 5. Once you have the station showing with that runtime, simply go back to the run position. It'll start that station operating, so you can walk out and check the heads, check the coverage, see what's going on. You'll see a blinking sprinkler icon in the display. Don't be alarmed, that just means that there's water running, or at least the controller thinks the water is running. It doesn't matter what program we're in, we're just doing manual single station. Then when you're finished with that manual check for that station, go to the off position, and the controller will shut down that zone, and you'll notice off in the display. That's manual single station. The other portion is the seasonal adjustment. So if we go to seasonal adjust, what that is a global setting or a global adjustment for the entire controller, every program A, B, and C. So you want to start out at 100%, which is how it comes from the factory setting. And at any time, if you know you want a little bit more water for a heat wave that's coming up and you don't want to go through and adjust everything individually, simply go from 100% up to, say, 120. And if you had 10 minutes programmed in at a certain station, that 10 minutes now turns into 12 minutes. 120% of 10 is 12. So you can also go in the opposite direction. If you know it's going to be cool and cloudy for the next week and you don't want to go in and adjust your run times, you can simply go from the 100% that you were at and reduce that down below 100, say down to 50%. And at 50%, that will cut all those run times in half. You can leave it on 50%, go back to the run position, and now all your run times have been adjusted. Once the run times are adjusted and you're happy and you're back onto your regular heat, your regular climate, you want to go back to the old program, just go back to season adjust and go from 50 back up to your 100%. So it's a real handy feature to be able to adjust the entire controller runtime up and down. And it does affect every program, every station runtime. The last setting here is set pump operation. You'll probably use that only once, and that's during initial setup. That simply actuates the pump master valve circuit. And that's a by station setting, so either off or on for the pump master valve circuit. You can select that by station, either on or off, by using the plus or minus button. You may have 3 zones in the front on city water pressure you don't need your pump to be actuated with. You can have stations 1, 2, and 3 in the off position. So station 1, the pump setting is in the on position. We're going to turn off station 1 for the front yard. We're going to use the right arrow to station 2 and turn off the pump for him also. Right arrow to station 3 and turn the pump off for him as well. And that's the front yard. And if you have stations in the backyard that may be on a well that you do want your pump start relay to actuate with, or a master valve, simply scroll with the right arrow out to station 4. Stations 4, 5, and 6 will leave it in the on position because that correlates to the well in the backyard. So return the dial back to the run position for automatic operation. And the last piece here on the face pack is the rain sensor bypass and active switch. If you do not have a rain sensor connected, simply leave the switch in the bypass position. If you are using a rain sensor, this happens to be a solar sync sensor, but yours may look similar, you'll want to make sure the switch is in the active position. When the switch is active, that means it'll be listening to what information comes in from the rain sensor. If for some reason you want to ignore the rain sensor that you have altogether and just bypass it, use the switch and move it to the up or bypass position. That's the rain sensor portion of the Pro C, and that about covers the entire programming. You can see it's quite simple, quite basic. Just remember your 3 ingredients for each program for basic programming, and you'll have it down in no time.